Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Oh,
Oh,
hello.
hello. Who's going to lead the show? Is it you or me?
Yay! It's the first time. I'm very happy.
Okay, so
It's really a privilege to be with you today.
well, thank you. Let's tell everybody what we're doing. Hi, everybody. This is the Rebel News Daily Live Stream. I'm your host, Sheila Gunn Reid. I normally host on Tuesdays with my beloved Menzoid, David Menzies. However, we've subbed in Alexa today, and this is equally as exciting. Alexa's in the office today for some training and meetings and all that good stuff. So we thought, let's stick her on the live stream with me and get a lady's perspective from two different sides of the country about the issues of the day. So here we are. And Alexa, I'm very excited to have you on the show. Before we go on, I should tell everybody what we're doing here today. It's the Rebel News Daily Live Stream. It's an hour where we talk about the issues of the day, some of the things we've covered, some of the things we haven't, but sometimes the best way to get to these issues are just sort of spontaneously, where we read the news with you and we react. And it used to be a great way for us to make a little money on YouTube, where you would give us something called a super chat, but then Joe Biden got elected and big tech didn't have to pretend anymore that they cared about free speech, and they started censoring conservatives all over the place, including us. So they demonetized us. But we have 1.6-ish million YouTube subscribers, and we don't want to abandon you. We kind of like you guys, even the ones who hate watch me. So we start broadcasting on YouTube, and there will come a time in the broadcast today where we will start talking about things that YouTube says might give you a little bit too much to think about. It might angry up your blood, and so they're pretty censorious still. There are things that we might say about the issues of today, and I can't even say what those things are, that will get our channel completely canceled. So if you're watching us on YouTube, be prepared to evacuate the platform at a certain point and join us over on Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey. And those are three platforms who describe themselves as neutral, which is exactly how I like a big tech platform. I don't want to know about their politics, and I don't want them to care about mine. And so far, so good with those three platforms. They say they don't care about our politics, and they even allow you to support the work that we do completely willingly, unlike what Justin Trudeau makes you do with CBC. So if you want to support us on Rumble, you can leave a rant. If you want to support us on Odyssey, there's a couple different ways that you can leave us a hyper chat. And Super U allows something called a Super U shout. And if you leave those, Mr. Producer AD will send them to me in a message, and Alexa and I will do our best to talk about them on air. Now that that's out of the way, Alexa, how are you doing? How's Toronto?
So good. I'm so good. I'm very happy to host the live stream today. But I'm not as funny as David Menzies, but I can do my best.
I don't know. You're pretty fun. You're pretty fun. Before we go on, speaking of fun, can we roll the store ad that shows just how fun it is to work for us? And the reason we want to run this store ad is today is December 14th. So it is the last day for you to place your orders for guaranteed delivery before Christmas. And if you want to use a coupon code, why don't you use Alexa10 and you'll get 10% off your entire order and free global shipping. So let's run our super fun ad.
Oh, yeah. And I like it so much. But the UD is so comfortable. Like, I love them. Yeah, I love them so much.
Yeah, and they wash up great. I mean, I'm not easy on my clothes. I'm pretty tough on my clothes, as I was saying in the live stream meeting. Most of my clothes are from the farm supply store, the feed store. And so I don't take care of my things the way normal people would. And my Rebel News t-shirts, I just throw them in the washing machine. They wash up just fine. And they never seem to fade or lose their screen printing or anything like that. So if you'd like to place your order before, I guess, the end of today, maybe hurry, do it right now. It's rebelnewsstore.com. You can use the coupon code Alexa10. If you've already used the coupon code Alexa10, then you can use the coupon code Sheila10, and that'll give you 10% off your entire order and free global shipping. And those shirts are so fun.
Yeah. My favorite one is The Lies Gotta Go.
The lies gotta go. The guy throwing his TV in the garbage. Yeah. Okay, Alexa, let's get to an issue that is very Quebec. Yesterday was sort of the Alberta show, but Alberta affects the entire country. This is another thing that I think affects the entire country, and it's Bill 21. So maybe you can give us a brief rundown of exactly what Bill 21 is, and then I'll tell you why I think Liberals are complete and total hypocrites on the issue.
Yeah, because it's something that concerns like not only Quebec, but it's actually everywhere, like in Canada. It's a new law that they pass that if you're a federal worker or in a powerful, like a teacher, also, you cannot wear any religious sign on you. So where you work, you need to be completely neutral. Or if you don't respect the rule, you risk to lose your job. So now you can lose your job for many, many reasons.
Well, and this is something that, it's often painted as a anti-Muslim niqab ban, or hijab ban. But, and this affects all public sector workers and teachers, doctors, nurses, all those people. You can't wear any religious clothing or symbols like hijabs, kippas,
Nothing.
or crucifixes. And so this would affect me because I'm wearing my miraculous medal here. And so this is a very overtly Catholic symbol. If I'm not wearing this, I have always a crucifix on, not even a cross, but a crucifix. And, I have a cross tattoo. I mean, this would affect somebody like me. If I worked in the public sector, I couldn't wear this little innocuous necklace because of these neutrality laws. And, there are arguments to be heard on both sides of this. But what I think is crazy is how hypocritical the Liberals all are on this. So yeah, this is the bill. It's from 2019. Justin Trudeau says he's staying out of the debate because he doesn't want to intervene on Quebec, which is interesting because they have absolutely no problem intervening on Alberta all the time. You want to build a pipeline? Nope, we're canceling it. Sorry, no. We're going to put your innocuous energy infrastructure project through the gender-based analysis program or whatever. They do it all the time to us. Now he's saying he's not going to do this because he doesn't want to fight with Quebec. But I find it very interesting because Justin Trudeau's key enablers, people like Gerald Butts, he's basically calling this racism and religious discrimination, and I'm willing to hear those arguments. However, he doesn't seem to be able to make the connection between forcing religious people to take medical treatment they don't want, and I'm doing my very best not to say those words because we're still on YouTube, under threat of losing their job, and forcing people to take off their religious symbols so that they can have a job. They're the same issue. Yeah. You're violating their religious liberty so that they can keep a job. But the Liberals can't seem to figure out that they're the same thing.
But I don't know if you actually saw it, but I found that Quebec is beginning a little bit like our premiere. Is more like, do what I tell you to do. Like, you will follow my rule, and if you don't follow my rule, I will fire you, and you will own, and you will have nothing. I don't like this kind of path that our like government and our like province is going. It's unhealthy, really, and that affects the rest of Canada, especially our other bill that they were talking about, 96, about the language. that will affect as well. That is touching the Charter of Rights and the rights of human, and nobody seems caring about it. That's a violation.
It seems like language laws and protecting Quebec's francophone identity is the most important thing over individual rights. That's what I'm seeing unfold there. Gerald Butts, he says this. I don't know if you can find this tweet. It's from about 22 hours ago, AD. He says, and he's weighing in on Justin Trudeau, saying that he's staying out of the fight over Quebec's Bill 21 for now. He says, with greatest respect to my former colleagues, this isn't just about Bill 21 and Quebec now. Yeah, I agree. It's about whether every Canadian can depend on the Charter to protect them from state discrimination. I really hope there's a plan here. It's a big thing, not a small thing. I find myself agreeing with Gerald Butts here, but not in the way that he thinks I am. I agree that every Canadian must be able to rely on the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to protect them from state discrimination. That's why I am against forced medical treatment in the interest of hanging on to your job, or traveling on a plane or traveling on a train, which are the things that the Liberals have passed for all of us.
Yeah, and I'm just against forcing people. We're supposed to be like in democracy and be as a free human. Now we are not free to move in our own country if you are not accepting like the medical procedure. You're not free if you are wearing a religious sign. What's going on here? And especially since the election, I saw an animosity between Justin Trudeau and Mr. Legault, because I know that Legault was saying a lot of time that he wanted conservative, and since then, example, because a journalist say to Mr. Legault, as he say, oh, but Mr. Trudeau wants to be out of the Bill 21. And he say, do you think we are in a free-minding country if we actually stop people to wear religious sign? And he compare the fact to wear a religious sign as to wear a shirt writing, I am for liberal. I was like, no. You cannot compare. You cannot use politics to compare with religion. That is belief. I would not compare the religion with politics. It makes no sense. What he said, it was improper. That's what I think.
Well, and the point of religious freedom is that you don't have to hide it. It's not something, and for religious people, it's something that it dictates all your behaviors and all your reactions in all of your life. And so for somebody like me, it's not something that I can hide. It dictates what I eat, when I eat, how I respond to certain things, where I am at certain times of the day. And the point of religious freedom is I get to do that in a free society. The state doesn't tell me the terms of those things. My conscience does. And so it's antithetical to a free society and religious freedom, because it's not just that you get to hold those beliefs. You get to practice those beliefs too.
Yeah.
In a lawful expression of it.
That's law make it the religion is not important. But we give religious exemption for not having a medical procedure that people lose their job. But now, you can lose your job because you actually use your religion at your job.
Yeah. I know. None of it makes any sense. And nobody can figure out that these are the exact same issue. They can't put it together, that there are people who reject medical intervention because of their own religion, thanks to the Liberals, are losing their jobs because of that. But also you have prominent Liberals saying, Bill 21 is a violation of the Charter, which it probably is.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It doesn't make any sense. We should move along to this video. China I think it's China criticizing the United States because they're moving into Afghanistan now.
Yeah.
Afghanistan, ever occupied by somebody else, China's on their way in.
害平民的暴行不可接受。美国以各种理由为凶手开脱，使其免受惩罚的行为，更令人无法容忍。当美方在领导人民主峰会上大谈民主人权的时候，那些死于美军枪口下的阿富汗无辜民众却没有人过问，他们家人的冤屈却无处申诉。这就是美国鼓吹的民主人权带给世界的残酷现实。我们谴责美方打着民主人权旗号，对阿富汗、伊拉克、叙利亚等国发动军事干涉的野蛮行径。我们呼吁国际社会对美军在世界各地滥杀无辜平民的战争罪行进行调查追责。正义或许会迟到，但不会缺席。美国以所谓民主人权为借口，在世界上恣意妄为的时代已经结束。
You know, it's really, I'm surprised that guy didn't burst into flames while he was saying that.
I feel like a little bit like a threat. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
They say that they will be accountable of their act. We will not deny it. I was like, it's a threat. It's a direct threat.
Again, with the hypocrisy, though, China has basically taken over and squashed democracy in Hong Kong while the world sat on its hands. They're likely going to do the same thing to Taiwan. They insist on Taiwan being referred to as part of Greater China, against the will of the people there. They censored the internet in Hong Kong. They censored the right to protest in Hong Kong. And to hear this guy prattle on about human rights is a little bit much. And then we've got Uyghurs and Christians inside China. 1 million religious and ethnic minorities are in concentration camps right now. They're getting their Muslim and Christian names removed so that they have Chinese names. The Chinese state government is rewriting the Bible. Any verses that refer to the supremacy of God above the government are being removed. They are stopping ethnic Uyghurs from speaking their own language in the interest of, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, turning them into Sinophiles, you know, lovers of the Chinese state. They had 2 Canadians imprisoned for, I think, nearly 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then we've got a Canadian citizen, a Uyghur Canadian citizen. He's a Uyghur activist. As best I can tell, he's never actually, this is the concentration camps, by the way. Oh. But as best I can tell, this Canadian citizen has never done anything wrong except to be Uyghur. And I think he's going on 13 years in prison there, just for being an activist for his people. These concentration camps are making items for the Western world. I'm looking at you, Nike. Mm-hmm. And, you know, to hear this Chinese state mouthpiece talk about human rights, give me a break. They are one of the largest scale, most organized violators of human rights in the entire world, and they are as imperialist as ever.
Yeah, they are actually China is the country where the people have the less right, I think, in the world. Yeah. So and now they are judging like USA. Do they are doing that because their Olympic have been like boycott by North America, most of it? Maybe it's just like revenge.
Yeah.
They just want to like for all the world that happened in the world, now you choose them this moment now to send a direct threat.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
special.
I mean, I think it is directly related to the fact that North America has here it is. The practice of sport is a human right. So is the practice of religion, my good Chinese mouthpiece. And yet you don't allow Christians or Uyghurs to practice their religion, or the Falun Gong. That's another religious minority in China whose bodies, by the way, are routinely parted out like a used car, and their organs are sold to the highest bidder or just harvested for transplant into Chinese communist leaders who need an organ. They harvest the organs from the religious minority Falun Gong, and this guy is prattling on about how sport is a human right. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but religious practice definitely is, and not imprisoning ethnic minorities. You know, I'm not taking any advice from this guy, but yeah, this is the Chinese state being deeply embarrassed because North American diplomats are boycotting the Olympics, and not even the athletes, just the diplomats, and this guy's feelings are hurt.
Yeah, and some of the people call it like the genocide Olympics
Yeah, it is.
2022.
Yeah, this is like Hitler's Olympics. Yeah.
It's crazy. I like the intensity of hate that we live on right now. It's unbelievable. Like I have the impression that people begin to just hate. What will happen in a couple of months if that hate just rise and more? Just we should be united, and now we are divided.
Yeah, and we should be marginalizing China. You know, this is one of the things that I think Donald Trump was really good at. He wanted to repatriate American manufacturing. He said, why are we manufacturing in China when American workers can do it? All we're doing is enriching China and making them more powerful so that they can do things like threaten us because of the Olympic boycott and take over Hong Kong and threaten Taiwan and dictate what happens at the UN climate change conferences or any sort of UN thing. They're the most powerful guys in the room, especially now that Joe Biden's in charge. Donald Trump was so right on this. We had to starve the dragon of its economic power, and we should be marginalizing them, doing as little business as possible with them. Unfortunately, our leaders just don't have the will.
And people need to understand that China is the most populated country, and every citizen is like army people. Like they are trained to be a good citizen. They are trained to be like what they want them to do. And now since almost 2 years, with all that what happened, China get richer and richer and richer, and they are really powerful right now. I don't think it's the right time to make like something against them.
Yeah, and I think there's a cultural difference with their government in that in the Western world, by and large, I mean, not so much lately, and maybe my argument will fall flat, but generally speaking, we value human life. Yeah. But I don't think it is the case in China. And so, that's why if disease breaks out, maybe you don't treat people. If your factory is pumping pollution, real pollution, into the atmosphere, you don't care if it does that. You don't care if people get sick because, you're in pursuit of power and economic wealth, and the other stuff, the people don't really matter. In the Western world, we're a lot different. We generally care about human life. And we will sort of pump the brakes on a lot of things because of the loss of human life. I don't think China feels the same way about their own citizens.
I don't think so either. I think they are just number. Like when we look at the system of, you can track them everywhere. Just, oh my God, I find that creepy. Oh, nice.
Yeah, Xi Jinping.
I like that one.
Yeah. That makes him very, very angry. Yeah, there's the social credit program that you're talking about, where if you're a bad citizen, disloyal to the state and not nice to the government, then you don't get to do certain things. You don't get to take the bus. Maybe you don't get to go to the grocery store. And you're constantly being spied on because of facial recognition software all over the place.
That remember something that we live on right now. Just to let you know.
Sounds a lot like the we can't even talk about it on
Yeah, it's why I didn't say it.
on YouTube. We can't even talk about how creepy big tech is on YouTube because YouTube is creepy big tech.
Yes.
Thanks, YouTube.
So I retain myself to talk about.
I know.
crazy
We have to
stuff.
parse our words. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. One last thing before we have to say adios, YouTube, you big censorship platform. One last thing, and this is a thing that is rapidly becoming something we actually can't talk about on YouTube. It's already been completely demonetized if you talk about climate change. On YouTube, you are not ad revenue safe whatsoever. They've decided that the science is settled, which, as you know, Alexa, as a scientist, is not the scientific process. But if you talk about maybe my SUV isn't killing the whales, that'll get you demonetized. They just won't let advertisers put their ads in front of your content. But here we see the intersection of control freaks.
Yep.
Used to be climate change. They use that to control your life. You know, how far you should drive, how high your thermostat should be, the cost of fuel, the cost of gas, the cost of groceries. It's all sort of mixed in with a carbon tax.
Mm-hmm.
That was the old thing they used to control your life. The new thing, of course, is COVID, and I'm not going to talk too much about that, but that's how they control who you have in your home,
Yep.
who you can visit, where you can go, who you can eat with. That's the other thing they use to control your life.
Yep.
Now we've got the COVID control freaks and the climate change control freaks holding hands to control every aspect of your life. Here's Dr. Theresa Tam talking about climate change for some reason.
So investing in public health is about that longer duration and sustained effort. So without further investments, we will not be able to tackle the health impacts of climate change, antimicrobial resistance, mental health issues. So our population will fall behind. So investing in public health is about that longer duration and sustained effort. So without further
Yeah.
investment,
I think so. It's not working.
You're still on.
Uh,
You're still on.
sorry.
Okay. So they're bringing you a battery. It's okay.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
talk.
I
I'll
just
fill
like,
in this space.
I'm dead.
No, it's okay. I think it's pretty interesting that Theresa Tam is talking about the public health impacts of climate change. I don't know how she has been able to assess something like the public health impacts of climate change, but she knows the solution there, as you can hear, is more resources. And when government bureaucrats say resources, they mean money. And I noticed that she also touched on mental health issues without ever indicating that so much of the COVID overreaction, and again, I'm probably wandering into questioning a public health officer, but so much of the restrictions, the canceling of minor sport, and the isolation, that's where your mental health issues are coming from.
Yeah.
It's coming from the government reaction to COVID. And yet, instead of saying, you know, maybe we should let these people be free again, humanity is a social species, she's saying, no. The only solution here is more money, more supports, which just means give money to health bureaucrats.
And they just use like certain topic for the control, because at the end I'm not even sure that it's not the real question. It's all the time about money, more money, and especially like we had other crises of disease before, okay, and we pay tax that go to every department, every minister, everything. And what have you done in the past years with all of this money and all the strategic? Because before what happened, like the pandemic, they were talking about maybe a pandemic that was coming to us, or you were not ready, and now like you say that, oh, we do like digestion really well. Okay, what about like people who are actually need to have how we say it in English, psychiatre, the doctor for them, the mind. I just forgot the word in English.
Psychologist?
Psychologist or other like doctor, that because the mental illness right now is the highest rate probably like since never.
Yeah.
And we need to be careful because the children, they are the future. What will happen with their mental like health? I don't think like it will be good. Not seeing people for like almost 2 years, not being able to see their friend, touch their friend, socialize, breathe correctly, being around fear all the time. Not sure that it's really healthy. And I think in a couple of years we will have like a serious problem with that. And now we will need money for that, because it would not be like the hospital that we will need the money. It will be the mental hospital.
Yeah. And if we don't change the things that are causing the problems with these kids, then it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
The quickest way to fix this is stop doing the things that are giving them anxiety and depression and suicidal tendencies. That's a lockdown. I was actually, before I jumped on to the live stream with you, I was filming the gun show for tomorrow night, and I was talking to Theo Fleury. He's a former NHLer. He's a child sexual abuse survivor and an advocate for mental health. And we were talking about exactly this, about what all of this means for kids going forward. What does it mean for a generation of kids when the government has made togetherness illegal, has blocked you from seeing your family and friends, stopped you from social interaction, and then cut you off from the one outlet that you need, and that's minor sport and exercise. I'm worried about just a tidal wave of crisis, and we've done this to the kids. That's the worst part. Adults did this to innocent children so that adults could feel better.
I wish like we can send them in a mental hospital that they see and confront the real impact of what is going on, and see the children how are like unhappy and are sometimes like panicking.
Yep.
I wish they can just send them like one day and just that they can see it by their own eyes. Maybe they will probably have another idea of the question.
I'm not sure. Friends, we're getting into dangerous territory here, though, so we are going to sign off of YouTube, but we're going to continue having this conversation because I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. So we're going to roll an ad for the store done by my friend Drea Humphrey, because, again, if you want to order anything from the store, it has to be ordered by today. Don't order it maybe right now. Wait till we're done talking and then go to the store at rebelnewsstore.com. Order your stuff there. You can use the coupon code Alexa10 or Sheila10 to get 10% off your order. But if you are watching us on YouTube, please migrate over to Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey. And Alexa and I are going to continue talking about the impacts of the lockdowns on children. Yeah. Thanks, AD, for the reminder so that I didn't blow up the YouTube channel.
Are you a last-minute Christmas shopper? We've got you covered. Support your favorite independent journalists by doing your Christmas shopping at rebelnewsstore.com. And you can save 10% by using my code DREA10. That's DREA10. We've got all the Patriots in your family covered, including the babies. Check out these little t-shirts and onesies. And everything you buy there supports us bringing you the other side of the story. Make sure you get your order in before December 14th. And Merry Christmas!
I love her. She's so nice.
She's so good, so spunky. I think if we're